Mr. Kenneth Jacoby. Mr. Thomas Tucker.
Here.
Miss Nancy Mulvaney.
I'm here.
Mr. William Epper.
Here.
Mrs. April Walters.
Here.
Mrs. Barbara Sippler.
Here.
Miss Bonita Barbush.
Bonnie here?
Yes, I'm here, I'm sorry.
You're all right.
I'm here.
Mr. Tyree Harris.
Here.
Mr. Ryan Binder.
Here.
Dr. Brown Pivich. Here. Attorney Chris Lesser.
Here.
Mr. Daniel Malloy.
Here.
And no student representative.
Public comments on board agenda items only. I have one. CCTI report.
I was down at the CCTI meeting on Thursday, and it was mentioned there that free breakfast and lunch are gonna be considered for a trial period for this coming school year down at CCTI. They're not sure the cost yet, that's why it's a trial.
Yeah.
But it was mentioned that Weatherly may also be doing that. And I didn't know if that was something that was accurate or inaccurate.
No,
'Cause I know
that's
we talked
something
about-
we've looked into.
Correct.
I think when you were on the board, we looked into it,
Correct,
but not anything in recent times where we're
Okay.
looking into it for this coming year.
okay. Also, it was mentioned that SATs are still being considered optional through 2026. I don't know if we are still working with SATs or not for testing. And the third thing was the last day of school for CCTI is June 3rd. That was it.
Thank you so much.
Personnel recommendations approved with one board motion for discretion. Number 5, approve unpaid leave for employee number 930 on June 4th and June 5th, 2024.
Motion.
Second.
Questions?
Roll call. Mr. Kenneth Jacoby.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas Connor.
Yes.
Miss Nancy Mulvaney.
Yes.
Mr. William Epper.
Yes.
Miss April Walters.
Yes.
Mrs. Barbara Sippler.
Yes.
Miss Bonita Barbush.
Yes,
Mr. Tyree Harris.
Yes.
And Mr. Ryan Binder.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Number 6, approve the retirement of Lori L. Demore, full-time secretary, last day of employment, August 2nd, 2024.
so moved with regret.
Second.
Questions?
Do we have, candidates we interview for her?
Right now, I think we have about 17 applicants. We're looking at, the 15th, the week of the 15th in July, to look at interviewing teachers. We have an open teaching position, a secretarial position, and trying to get, some pairs as well.
Thank you.
Roll call. Mr. Thomas Connors.
Yes.
Miss Nancy Mulvaney.
Yes.
Mr. William Epper.
Yes.
Mrs. April Walters.
Yes.
Mrs. Barbara Sippler.
Yes, with much regret.
Miss Bonita Barbush.
Yes, and I'd like to thank Lori for all her years of service to our district, she's a wonderful employee.
Agreed.
Mr. Tyree Harris.
Yes.
Mr. Ryan Binder.
Yes.
And Mr. Kenneth Jacoby.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Number 7, approve Lori Davis as TSA advisor for the 2023-24 school year at a salary of $846.57.
Make a motion to approve number 7.
Second.
Roll call. Miss Nancy Mulvaney.
Yes.
Mr. William Epper.
Yeah.
Mrs. April Walters.
Yes.
Mrs. Barbara Sippler.
Yes.
Miss Bonita Barbush.
Yes,
Mr. Tyree Harris.
Yes.
Mr. Ryan Binder.
Yes.
Mr. Kenneth Jacoby.
Yes.
And Mr. Thomas Connors.
Yes.
Motion passes passes 9-0.
Number 8, approve the resignation of Jessica Rajavich, elementary teacher, last day of employment being August 7th, 2024.
So moved with regret.
Michael.
Roll call, Mr. William Knepper.
Yeah.
Mrs. April Walters.
Yes.
Mrs. Barbara Sittler.
Yes.
Ms. Benita Barbush.
Yes, and again, I'd like to thank her for all her years of service for our district
Mr. Tyree.
teacher.
Mr. Tyree Harris.
Yes, and thank you very much, Jess.
Thank you.
Mr. Ryan Binder.
Yes.
Mr. Kenneth Jacoby.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas Connors.
Yes.
And Miss Nancy Mulvaney.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Yeah, I'll add the same, Jess, it's been a pleasure. Can't say enough good things about you and the job you've done for our kids. You know, obviously, we're losing two great parts of our family here, so.
Thank you for everything. It was not an easy decision by any means.
You'll be missed, without a doubt.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you.
Number 9, approve Rocco, I'm gonna pronounce that wrong, Seller as Weatherly Area School District Technology Director at a prorated salary of $80,000 and benefits per the Act 93 contract effective July 15th, 2024. Motions?
Could I have a question first? Tell me if I'm wrong, but I thought we discussed this as with no benefits and a buyout.
There is,
It's in the contract.
it is, we have part of the contract.
Okay, thank you.
Motion?
Motion.
I second.
Roll call, Mrs. April Walters.
Yes.
Mrs. Barbara Sittler.
Yes.
Ms. Benita Barbush.
Yes,
Mr. Tyree Harris.
Yes.
Mr. Ryan Binder.
Yes.
Mr. Kenneth Jacoby.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas Connors.
Yes.
Miss Nancy Mulvaney.
Yes.
And Mr. William Knepper.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Number 10, approve Edward Rarick as Weatherly Area School District's Business Manager Board Secretary at a prorated salary of $90,000 and benefits per year as per the Act 93 contract effective July 8th, 2024.
Motion.
Questions?
Mrs. Barbara Sittler.
Yes.
Ms. Benita Barbush.
yes,
Mr. Tyree Harris.
Yes.
Mr. Ryan Binder.
Yes.
Mr. Kenneth Jacoby.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas Connors.
Yes.
Miss Nancy Mulvaney.
Yes.
Mr. William Knepper.
Yes.
And Mrs. April Walters.
No.
Motion passes 8-1.
Number 11, approve the resignation of Billy Joe Stewart, part-time paraprofessional, effective the end of the 2023-2024 school year.
Second.
Questions?
Roll call, Ms. Benita Barbush.
yes,
Mr. Tyree Harris.
Yes.
Mr. Ryan Binder.
Yes.
Mr. Kenneth Jacoby.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas Connors.
Yes.
Miss Nancy Mulvaney.
Yes.
Mr. William Knepper.
Yes.
Mrs. April Walters.
Yes.
And Mrs. Barbara Sittler.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Number 12, approve the following coaches for the 2024-2025 school year as listed.
Motion.
Second.
Question. Ryan, since you're in charge of that committee, did we get letters of intent, standard application, and resumes for all these positions?
I don't know about resumes, letter of intent, I believe was only what was required.
You have letter of intent for everybody?
I didn't have any of that.
that's what I would like to. I mean, I'm not,
It should have been posted, before it was even put on the
my
agenda.
thing is, I'm okay.
And I
but
believe that as
just
well.
wanna-
I believe it was. It's, I
As
just,
far as, there's generally a notification that goes out, which I think we might have discussed a while back.
Yeah, but,
To anybody that would then need to have that inquiry.
and me, I just don't know.
Yeah, I could follow up to see where we have those on file.
I would assume we'd have them all, if Scott put these people on, but
Well, I
it's
just-
okay, it's fun.
Assuming doesn't know, I'd like to, probably table this if that's okay with you guys.
I'm not saying,
Make
I'm
sure
not
we
saying
have
that
all the
we,
information.
I don't know.
No, no.
I just wanna make sure we follow every
Again,
policy.
obviously, we have an intent, expressed intent from these folks,
Well,
one way
that's
or
the
another,
issue.
otherwise they wouldn't be on this list.
Okay.
Again, if we wanted to table it, we could table it, but we're talking about folks that in many cases are in the middle of programs.
Can you speak up, Dan, please?
Again, we're talking about folks that are in the middle of running programs, things like that. Our next meeting is 2 months from now. You know, is there some concern that somebody on this list did not intend to be a part of the
Only
coaching?
person I know that I sat in on the interview was the soccer guy.
All record.
Yes.
Or most.
And my thing is, if we're gonna have something posted, then let's follow it, okay? That's all I'm asking. I'm not opposing anyone, but I want to follow what it says. So it doesn't come back to bite us in the
Sure.
arm.
But I know there was an expressed intent to follow through from the folks that are on this list. That was in the commission that was directed to me. I can find out very
If I
specifically
could
about
just say
that.
something, if this is something that they wanted, and it had certain criteria to meet, that had to be met in order to, apply for the position, I would have sure, as I made little green apples, that I had all my, information in. But if we, comes to pass tomorrow morning, that only one person or two people have, everything in that they needed to apply, then that doesn't make any sense. I would feel more comfortable tabling it, but
I was gonna vote on it because this was.
We have a
reviewed
party
by
of
Scott.
motion to vote.
I don't, like the information you're talking about, was it requested
Doesn't
for
matter.
prior to this?
Everything was requested, the only person
I
that
mean, did
did,
you personally, like, did you ask for this to see it? Like,
I'm just following up with Ryan. Okay, so, but when we put it on the, what's the school website? That's all the criteria. I just wanna make sure, so it doesn't come back and, like, it's in the back, later on. I'm just doing my job, following everything that is posted. So, we can vote on it. And if y'all wanna pass it, then fine. But if we vote on it and just table it, then, I mean, it's up to you guys. I'm just,
They start practices.
I don't know what
They
these-
may even have a match, like for golf. I know
Golf,
they
yeah.
we already
usually
had a
start
motion
earlier
in
than that.
second for one,
okay.
so
Who's
That
gonna-
doesn't
we
matter,
at the
you
point
can
where
always
it's up or
table it.
down vote.
well, it's just discussion,
Yeah,
yeah.
As far as what the actual requirements are to be on file, I don't need, but I leave that, I've left that to Scott. So the question
And the
is,
majority of the
what is
people who are
required?
worried about documentation
But
are
as
people
chair of
that
that,
have been there
that
previously.
committee, Ryan,
We have that
Sure.
documentation on
together with
file.
Scott to make sure that all that was met. If they needed the resumes and letter of
I
interest.
believe it's only a letter,
You
I
only
believe it's only
needed
a
one of
letter
the
of
three,
intent.
yeah, one of the three.
Yeah, so all of the exit interviews for head coaches, they were requested to submit their letter of
And
intent to
anybody
return.
else, that's the question.
That's a fair question, but, I would assume if Scott put them on here, that he's got all that information.
Yeah, but you kinda can't assume everything, and this is what bothers me, people don't follow the rules.
These are the rules.
We don't know that,
Don't we have to vote on policies or we just?
It could be submitted that before the interview.
Again, I don't know that we're gonna find
We would have had to submit that
specifics,
schedule.
but again, just my thought process is just listening to Ryan, who actually sat through the exit interviews with these folks that expressed their
so I'm clear, the concern is whether or not there is certain documentation required for their ultimate approval, correct?
Yes.
So why don't we, if there's a motion to approve these coaches as listed, why not just approve them contingent upon confirmation that all the documentation is in possession?
And we haven't talked about clearances here.
Right.
And those are far more important than a piece of paper
That'll
saying
be-
I'd like to come
Yep,
back.
that'll be the obligation of your AD.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, again, that should have been all taken care of before they were even put on the agenda.
It may have been.
It might be, yeah.
Yeah, we don't know if, I mean, we have to take the word that Scott looked over all that.
I'll leave it. I just wanna bring it to our attention.
They can't go, oh yeah, absolutely, there's levels of process.
So do we have to change the motion to say as per contingent upon?
Contingent upon, confirmation by the AD that all the documentation required for them to serve as coaches is indeed, in district possession.
Okay. So I make the
Nobody
motion
else has submitted
to
letters.
approve the coaches as per all the paperwork that is handed in per our AD. That is correct.
No, that all the criteria has been met that was,
Bonnie, it's the same thing.
asked of them.
Bonnie, it's the same thing. Are you trying to run the meeting? It's the same thing. I just said it a different way.
Well, then whoever doesn't have it, then tomorrow morning, then they're dropped.
That's
Is
not.
that what you're saying?
No, it's not what I said. Listen to the motion. I made the motion.
I second. Roll call?
Roll call. Okay, Mr. Tyree Harris.
I just wanted, that's why I was just double checking it.
Approve these contingent upon them having all proper documentation.
Can I say something? Can I say something? Like what, my assessor said, another districts I've been in was pending completion of all employment documents prior to the start of this coaching. So technically, they can't start coaching until all that stuff is in, and that covers their concerns about liabilities and everything else. So if you would happen to tomorrow go in and find out that you didn't have everything, then you
It
just
just
tell
can't
them,
start until.
get that in
The
before
shelf,
you can start
essentially.
coaching.
Yeah, essentially, they'd be on the shelf until they got the proper.
Exactly.
And then can I ask, as soon as you can you forward to me and Kenny?
I don't know that we,
I mean, because we are.
would we pass around the hard document?
No, you
Or
you can actually talk to Scott, and then once he says, I got X, Y, and Z,
Just confirm to you that
just
everybody's
confirm to
got
me
it.
and Kenny, that's it.
Yep.
I'm fine with that, I'm fine with that. Yes,
Okay,
I'm sorry, I just wanna make sure.
Mr. Ryan Binder,
Yes.
Mr. Kenneth Jacoby,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas Connors,
Yes.
Miss Nancy Mulvaney,
Yes.
Mr. William Necker,
Yes.
Mrs. April Walters,
Yes.
Mrs. Barbara Sittler,
Yes.
and Miss Benita Barbush.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Thank you.
Very good, Dan.
Superintendent report, approve a salary increase for Megan Wagner, pre-K teacher from bachelor step 7, master's equivalent step 7, 54,594, effective the July 13th, 2024 payroll. Motion,
Motion?
Second.
discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Ryan Binder,
Yes.
Mr. Kenneth Jacoby,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas Connors,
Yes.
Miss Nancy Mulvaney,
Yes.
Mr. William Necker,
Yes.
Mrs. April Walters,
Yes.
Mrs. Barbara Sittler,
Yes.
Miss Benita Barbush,
Yes.
and Mr. Tyree Harris.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Number 14, approve the 2024-25 letter of agreement between the Carbon Monroe Pike Drug and Alcohol Commission Incorporated and the Weatherly Area School District. Can I have a motion?
Move.
Second?
Who was second?
Any discussion?
Mr. Kenneth Jacoby,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas Connors,
Yes.
Miss Nancy Mulvaney,
Yes.
Mr. William Knepper,
Yes.
Mrs. April Walters,
Yes.
Mrs. Barbara Sittler,
Yes.
Miss Benita Barbush,
Yes.
Mr. Tyree Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Ryan Binger.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Number 15, approve the following use of facilities, WAHSAA, use of middle school LGI room, Friday, June 7, 2024, from 5 o'clock p.m. to 8:30 p.m. for the 1974 50th class meet and greet. Weatherly Records boys basketball program, use of high school and middle school gymnasium, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, beginning June 11th to August 8th, 2024, 6 o'clock p.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. for youth basketball program.
Question,
Yes.
did you make that phone call, Dan, and it gave us some information as far as, so we don't have to go through what we went through last time?
Yeah.
And, you know, we talked about as far as if it's gonna be for conditioning only,
Sure.
because then when you do other things, then that puts us in a situation.
Just clarification when we get an application in, if there's something similar to that.
I haven't seen the request, but my understanding is the request and proper documentation was submitted with insurance information from the person that was running it.
Correct.
I don't understand why we didn't move forward with this. We've got an agenda item right above it that went forward without prior approval.
Well, I can explain to you, because I
Don't
did
need to
talk
have
to,
a motion.
I did talk to the
Second.
lawyer.
We're
about
in
this.
discussion already.
Yeah. Sorry, you wanna hit
Yeah,
it?
can we get a motion?
Motion.
Ryan. Second.
Discussion.
Any
So-
further discussion?
I mean,
I can clarify, I did talk to the Jeff Rockman, and my thing is, when it says on here that Luke wants it, fine, I have no problems with that. Luke was on vacation, so that kind of muddies everything where even though this guy has everything he needs, we did not know that, Weatherly was gonna be charged, the children in this town, let me finish, please. So, if Luke or Rob would've came to us ahead of time, say, hey, guys, this is what our idea is, we as a board could've came up with a way for everybody in the town to go, even though y'all did that after the fact. I was advised that, okay, we need to, and I don't take people at their word. If you're saying the money is going to this entity, then show me a written contract. Show me documentation, because I need that. That's just covering everybody's backside. And I talked to the lawyer, and that's the answer that I came up with. Now, you guys had it somewhere else, great, and y'all made it free for everyone. I have no problem with that. But if we would've known up front what it was going to be for, and people were gonna be charged, it would've put more people at ease, because you're transferring money. And the idea was we were gonna transfer money in the beginning. When it changed, then it's a whole different ballgame. But initially, you're going to use the gym. We gotta, have someone in here to clean up afterwards. And I'm just thinking, we're doing all this, but someone else is coming in and making money, okay? And we didn't know anything about this. We found out after the fact. After the fact doesn't work for me. Come, tell us upfront what's going on, I can work with you. But when I found out 2 days later we're charging, then I have a problem with that, okay? At the end of the day, it's about the kids. If we're gonna make it free for them, let's make it free. We can do that as a board, we can find a way to make the money, to cover anything. But, be upfront with me, I shouldn't have to look on or find out later on. That's my only thing. You can disagree with it, but that's just my thinking.
so
And I got approved by a lawyer.
as far as if we approve this, if this was put on the agenda to approve at the last meeting, I think you'd still be bothered by it,
No,
because
I
the verbiage here doesn't explain any of what you're saying you needed the information for, so you'd have been in the same situation.
If we would have talked
So-
about it, I'm sorry,
so-
I'm
so-
sorry.
Is there a disconnect that happened internally? And I didn't see the request, I've asked for it, I have not seen it yet, to what was included in school. I don't know if you can comment on that or if he's allowed to comment on that during this portion of the meeting, but I know the insurance information was included for the guy running it. I believe that there was information that there would be a charge. And, you know, okay, it's one thing to have the students for the board or the school to cover it. There is something to people having skin in the game. It was a minimal cost, and knowing Luke, if there was a kid that couldn't afford it or family couldn't afford it, it's probably how it got taken care of anyway. Luke probably took care of it himself, and they had it at the park. So I understand the information you didn't have, but I wanna know for the future how we make sure we don't get in this situation
Well,
again.
maybe we didn't have it, but the district, it sounds like the district had it, and it was submitted with it. Did you ever fill out a use of facilities form?
I've never done it.
There is a lot of information that you gotta put on there.
So it's likely I know the information form was submitted. That I do know. So if there's enough questions on there that cover all of those concerns, there's no reason this shouldn't move forward.
And let me just say, there's nothing that was done through this process of getting this onto an agenda that wasn't a vote. You know, again, how we wanna move forward in terms of the verbiage, how much we wanna include is maybe a good group discussion for us. You know, what we're comfortable with, what we're not comfortable with. But, you know, this listing as it is not uncommon not only at Weatherly, but at other school districts for similar situations.
Or
Where you
similar
have
type of event.
practitioners coming in to work with kids, at a reduced fee, you know, to help the program. And I know concerns about kids in the community, and this was for kids in the community. Again, kids maybe that are not attendees at Weatherly area that live in the community. I know the approach in a lot of those cases is it's a good recruiting tool to get some of those kids back in the community. But again, this was geared towards the community. I know some of those concerns that were expressed, you know, kids in the community. There was nothing unreasonable certainly about the fee that was attached, and I do believe there was a willingness to assist with that if there was a need. You know, and at the end of the day, for us, this was a process issue where, moving forward, you know, these are things we're gonna have to impress upon other people that, you know, this gets in a little bit sooner, so we're not backdating things like that. That's where we.
Well, that was my question.
If I may, before you, just really quickly, on that, Dan and I had a number of conversations about this when this was taking place last week or whenever that was, right? So the issue from legal side had nothing really to do with the charge, because the reality is, in other districts, there are rentals of auditoriums by dance companies who charge their students significant tuition for the dance, and they charge for the admission for the dance that's being held that night. So that, from our perspective, wasn't the issue. The issue from our perspective was simply that it needed to be on your board agenda for approval before it was able to be conducted. That was the issue, the legal issue. Just, I'm sorry.
Well,
I
and
was told that it was based on, this verbiage was on the meeting last week, the meeting earlier in the month prior to the event. So if this is the verbiage that was there, it was already on the agenda.
But not as a voting item.
But not as a voting
Yeah, that
item.
was the issue.
So-
That's our
Correct.
But I
It
know,
was voted on. It has to be approved first.
right, and I know from filling out multiple use of facilities, there is a deadline that it's supposed to be in. I think maybe we need to get a little more tight ship on that,
He was in by like May 16th. It could have been voted on at the last meeting.
yeah, but I mean, I think we need to maybe buckle down on that a little bit, because we seem to be backdating a lot of things for use of facilities, that people are putting stuff in last minute, and.
Yeah, which again is not uncommon, not only here, but in other places too, but we're talking about letter of law, rule of law in terms of what best suits us and protects us.
Backdating should not be a common practice.
Right. Yeah, not trying to justify it.
Just to be clear about that on the record.
Yeah, not saying it's a good thing.
Should not be a practice at all. But go ahead.
You didn't know this was like this is the basketball coach. It was almost like when I read this here on the agenda now, it looks like it's for Weatherly student athletes.
That's how I viewed this. When he called me about it, I went, it wasn't on the agenda, and I look at it, and I said, no, it wasn't there, and then I guess I talked with Kenny, he's like, well, it was there, and I read it again, I'm like, that's this. So, verbiage, timing, if we know an event's coming up, let's vote on it at the caucus meeting, that's not a big deal.
And whoever's putting in the use of facility has to be present when the event happens, right? Is that
I don't
correct?
think we have anything
least enough
They're
coach
just-
there.
Well,
If it was
That's,
at the school.
that was part of this as well.
I think you should have it, if they're the person responsible, so it does happen.
That is reasonable.
Yeah, if they are signing as the
Yeah.
responsible.
Well, usually on those forms, there's, and other people that are gonna be, part of that activity. So it usually covers it.
And it's like an umbrella coverage.
Well, like what she said, when you fill out those forms, a lot of the district forms will have who's gonna be in charge or who's gonna be present, and they usually list people. So
And
let's say we may have listed assistant coaches or who else in the community would be there.
And this would be a good example of that, especially when it's not an event. When we have a series of events that are gonna occur over the course of a couple months, there's likely at some point to be a situation where that individual who filed the paperwork might not be there. And maybe there's an assistant coach that's going to be present for that practice or a stretch of practices during that time frame.
So this is open to anybody,
Anybody within the community.
outside our district,
I believe it was just within the district, if I'm not mistaken.
so just within the district, okay.
It was within the district only?
I think that was our feedback that we received.
Am I being asked the question?
Yeah. Yeah. Most I saw, I don't know if that's.
If you wanna ask, cool, but I'm not just gonna talk.
Was it intended, was the plan to only be Weatherly students?
So the
As
difference
far-
between in the district or whether
In
it's
the district, okay.
As far as inside the school, it was gonna be participating students only. When it went out to the park, we opened it to everybody, it had to be that way. I mean, inside this building, it would've been for Weatherly students only, except for assistants that were brought by Frank. Cause Frank
So-
does bring players that work with him as an employee or whatever, something like that.
So you guys moved it down to the park.
Yes.
Are you coming back up to the school now if it
No,
gets
it's
approved, or are
completely-
you staying down?
No, it's completely open. It happened already, tomorrow's the last day.
Oh,
They sweated last week outside.
It was a scheduled special program, it wasn't just like, an open gym activity, it was something where we were bringing in a basketball coach who was well known for skills training and offering skills training at a very low price compared to what you would pay otherwise. I mean, otherwise it's something like $50 an hour. But anyway, so as you said, Luke came up with a way to make it happen at the park for free for everybody, so that's the way it went. And our kids were out there on 95-degree days playing basketball when they probably should have been in our gym.
We gotta get on the agenda sooner for stuff like that.
absolutely.
That's just the process for it.
Completely understand. As far as we knew, we met that process. I believe that timeline was correct, where it was submitted in time, where it could have been voted on. We were actually very shocked that it wasn't. Didn't really get any feedback as to why. We kind of fished around, for answers ourselves, but we really didn't, get anything good, except that there was missing information to satisfy certain parties. Other than that, we're not sure. But we don't understand on our end. To me, that's just a phone call. Hey, can you answer this? Can somebody give us some more information that we need to make sure that we can make an intelligent vote on this process instead of just tabling it and passing it on until that information's there? We didn't know that information was needed.
I don't believe it.
Or if there was
I
any. if
I
there
think
was any
based
information.
on what was on here at the last meeting, it
Nobody had
didn't
any
cause
questions.
that level of
Yeah.
questioning.
There was no leading indicators that there were questions to be had.
Correct. That's what we understood too, and we thought we had it in a timely manner. Like, we have things in the future which we're probably gonna submit now for November and other things moving forward to make sure that we don't run into this again. We're gonna change our game plan, to make sure that things get done timely when we need them. But this maybe was kind of like late to the finish line, but it was still in early enough where it could have been discussed or tweaked or needed, any information that was needed could have been provided in a timely manner.
Sorry and thank you.
It's okay. It's okay. We're just doing what we can to try to help. We feel there's just not enough people out there helping, and when you're roadblocking people that are trying to help, those people are gonna stop.
Appreciate the help with our kids and things, obviously.
Yeah, this is above and beyond, what we're salaried for. This is extracurricular for us. Technically, our season doesn't start till November 17th or something like that. So, we're trying to, do what we can.
Spent a lot of time doing similar things.
Yeah, it's a full, whatever the state says, it's a full year job, even if it's just watching over the kids while they play a basketball game, because there has to be adult supervision when we're in the gym, which will be the things like that go on here. We cannot coach the players while we're in here, but
Thomas Connors,
Yes.
Miss Nancy Mulvaney,
Oh, yes.
Mr. William Knapper,
Yes.
Mrs. April Walters,
Yes.
Mrs. Barbara Sidler,
Yes.
Miss Benita Barbush,
Yes.
Mr. Tyree Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Ryan Binder,
Yes.
and Mr. Kim Jacoby.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Let me start with something.
That was me, sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Item number 16, approval of resolution granting assistant business manager as a liaison between Weatherly Area School District and Berkheimer. The reason why we're doing this, obviously, there's gonna be a gap between when I'm out and then hopefully when he's in Ed's approval, he went through, sorry. So that we just finished up a lot of the stuff for taxing. When you vote tonight on the budget and Berkheimer, they'll be pushing buttons tomorrow to start printing a lot of this stuff, and next week, like I said, there'll be a gap. So she'll need to go through first, so that's why that's on. Okay?
Oh,
Second.
Roll call, Miss Nancy Mulvaney,
Yes.
Mr. William Knapper,
Yes.
Mrs. April Walters,
Yes.
Mrs. Barbara Sidler,
Yes.
Miss Benita Barbush,
yes.
Mr. Tyree Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Ryan Binder,
Yes.
Mr. Kim Jacoby,
Yes.
and Mr. Thomas Connors.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
Okay, 17, approve contract between Behavioral Health Associates, BHA, and the Weatherly Area School District for the 24-25 school year. You've had contract with them last year for students and legal services outside.
Just before we go, I'm looking through my email and I don't know if what's the total cost of that?
And looking at it, there really wasn't a significant change between this year and last.
Still don't have numbers.
I know,
I was,
It's
I was
based-
curious,
it's by-
I'm looking to see.
by
It's based
category.
on category, based
Yeah.
on service, so it.
Yeah, so there's not an overall
each
charge
their-
that's listed.
Yeah.
It's a listing of services essentially, you know, which category a student might fall into within their services.
Now, what I will say, this group is really the only game in town. And
Yeah, I know, it's just, it's a very,
Yeah, you
Well,
doesn't have
we
somewhere to go.
will be down two graduated.
And they are expensive, but there's no choice about it.
Roll call. Mr. William Knapper,
Yes.
Mrs. April Walters,
yes.
Mrs. Barbara Sidler,
Yes.
Miss Benita Barbush,
Yes.
Mr. Tyree Harris.
Yes.
Mr. Ryan Binder,
Yes.
Mr. Kim Jacoby,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas Connors,
Yes.
and Miss Nancy Mulvaney.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Okay, 18, approve HD broker and insurance services proposal for the 24-25 fiscal year, the annual premium of $131,660. Property, general liability, automobile, inland marine, crime, school leaders, errors and omissions, and umbrella is $51,980 under Utica Mutual. DWP, $8,070, active shooter, Lloyd's of London, workman's compensation, $52,021, critical point. Pollution, $13,191, Iron Shore, and cyber liability, $6,390, Ace American. I did have a question last time when we met by one of the members about, do we shop around? The EHD broker does that for us, okay? What they do is they go out, and actually, there's only about 4 insurance companies in the country that insure these types of policies, right? So, we actually went down, believe it or not. In some areas, general property went up, and that's a result of all these natural disasters that we're starting to see, obviously, across the country. So they spread out their billing to everybody. So your home insurance will probably be going up and everything else. So, but total went down.
We have a
Thomas Connors.
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Mulvaney.
Yes.
Mr. William Knepper.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Nineteen, approve using the service of Jones and Company to perform the annual audit of Whately Area School District's final records for the 23-24 school year at the rate not to exceed $21,200, which includes all WASD requirements. That is up $200 from last year. And that's, the Jones Company has been doing their audits for, I don't know how many years now.
Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, Mrs. Barbara Sidler.
Yes.
Ms. Bonita Barbush.
yes,
Mr. Tyree Harris.
Yes.
Mr. Ryan Binder.
Yes.
Mr. Kayla Jacoby.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas Connors.
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Mulvaney.
Yes.
Mr. William Knepper.
Yes.
And Mrs. April Walters.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Okay. Approving the service of Jones and Company to perform the annual audit of Whately Area School District's tax collectors, final accounts and records for the 23-24 school year at the rate not to exceed $1,000 per tax collector. And it's 1,000 times 6, tax collector is 6,000, and that's the same price as you paid. And Ed will be starting that in July 15th, so welcome aboard.
so moved,
Second.
Okay, roll call, Ms. Bonita Barbush.
yes,
Mr. Tyree Harris.
Yes.
Mr. Ryan Binder.
Yes.
Mr. Kayla Jacoby.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas Connors.
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Mulvaney.
Yes.
Mr. William Knepper.
Yes.
Mrs. April Walters.
Yes.
And Mrs. Barbara Sidler.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Okay, authorize business manager and or superintendent to pay all bills necessary for the continued operation of the district for the month of July 2024. All such expenses paid will be on the agenda for ratification and approval at the August 24 Board of Directors meeting.
so moved,
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Tyree Harris.
Yes.
Mr. Ryan Binder.
Yes.
Mr. Kayla Jacoby.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas Connors.
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Mulvaney.
Yes.
Mr. William Knepper.
Yes.
Mrs. April Walters.
Yes.
Mrs. Barbara Sidler.
Yes.
And Ms. Bonita Barbush.
yes,
Motion passes 9-0.
Okay, moment we've been waiting for. Approve the 2024-25 general fund budget, total expenditures of $17,218,943 with no property tax increase.
Make a motion?
Second.
Mr. Ryan Binder.
Yes.
Mr. Kayla Jacoby.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas Connors.
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Mulvaney.
Yes.
Mr. William Knepper.
Yes.
Mrs. April Walters.
Yes.
Mrs. Barbara Sidler.
Yes.
Ms. Bonita Barbush.
yes,
And Mr. Tyree Harris.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Okay, 23, approve the resolution to set taxes for the 24-25 fiscal year.
so moved,
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Kenneth Jacoby.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas Connors.
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Mulvaney.
Yes.
Mr. William Knepper.
Yes.
Mrs. April Walters.
Yes.
Mrs. Barbara Sidler.
Yes.
Ms. Bonita Barbush.
yes,
Mr. Tyree Harris.
Yes.
And Mr. Ryan Binder.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
And 24, approve the 2024-2025 homestead farmstead exclusion resolution. There's about $550,000 in gaming revenue that came our way, so there may be some changes for some people's taxes, on the lower side. Couple
so
bucks.
moved,
When you say $550,000, that's across the state, and that's not just directly to us.
No, it comes basically to us, that was our share of the gaming
Okay.
fund.
Roll call, Mr. Thomas Connors.
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Mulvaney.
Yes.
Mr. William Knepper.
Yes.
Mrs. April Walters.
Yes.
Mrs. Barbara Sidler.
Yes.
Ms. Bonita Barbush.
yes,
Mr. Tyree Harris.
Yes.
Mr. Ryan Binder.
Yes.
And Mr. Kenneth Jacoby.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
25, approve the DART software agreement between Blast Intermediate Unit number 17 and the Weatherly Area School School District for the 2024-25 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, roll call. Mrs. Nancy Mulvaney,
Yes.
Mr. William Knapper,
Yes.
Mrs. April Walters,
Yes.
Mrs. Barbara Sittler,
Yes.
Ms. Benita Barbush,
Yes.
Mr. Tyree Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Ryan Binder,
Yes.
Mr. Kim Jacoby,
Yes.
and Mr. Thomas Connors.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Okay, approve the letter of understanding, MOU between Patstone and Weatherly Area School District from June 1st, 2024 to May 31st, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Okay, Mr. William Knapper,
Yes.
Mrs. April Walters,
Yes.
Mrs. Barbara Sittler,
Yes.
Ms. Benita Barbush,
Yes.
Mr. Tyree Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Ryan Binder,
Yes.
Mr. Kenneth Jacoby,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas Connors,
Yes.
and Ms. Nancy Mulvaney.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Okay, approve the agreement between the Commonwealth University of Pennsylvania and the Weatherly Area School District.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Here. Mrs. April Walters,
Yes.
Mrs. Barbara Sittler,
Yes.
Ms. Benita Barbush,
Yes.
Mr. Tyree Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Ryan Binder,
Yes.
Mr. Kim Jacoby,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas Connors,
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Mulvaney,
Yes.
and Mr. William Knapper.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Approve the CLIU Technology Pool Legal Services Consultation Agreement between CLIU at 21 and Weatherly Area School District during the 2024-25 school year, July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025.
So moved.
Question.
Mhm.
Dan,
Yes.
could you go into detail exactly what it is?
All right. Let me make I'll do the second on that before we.
I'm sorry.
So what they do is provide support to our technology department. They do some, outreach trainings, things like that, a consultation, provide some, trainings, I believe, for our staff as well. As part of, the technology pool, something that we've used in the past and has been beneficial to us, but especially with the new tech director coming in.
That's what I'm saying, so is some of the stuff that he can do instead of doing here?
Well, this is also.
This is supplemental, this is kind of big picture stuff, like when we start talking about the big picture cybersecurity, things like that, where a lot of the new stuff that's trying to get pushed out federally or at the state level, where they usually push that out first is through the IUs. So a lot of that's gonna come to us via them, and then they're gonna try and push it out to the local districts and try and help out with transitioning into those things that are being recommended, to the local districts, so that's part of what they do. Again, obviously very important when we're transitioning into a new, IT director, so. And we've used it in the past, it's always been a benefit even to those folks we've had in place.
Okay, thank you.
Roll call. Ms. Barbara Sittler,
Yes.
Ms. Benita Barbush,
Yes.
Mr. Tyree Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Ryan Binder,
Yes.
Mr. Kim Jacoby,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas Connors,
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Mulvaney,
Yes.
Mr. William Knapper,
Yes.
Mrs. April Walters.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Okay. 29, approve the May 2024 Treasury Report for filing.
Motion for 29-30.
Second.
Discussion. Okay, Ms. Benita Barbush,
Yes.
Mr. Tyree Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Ryan Binder,
Yes.
Mr. Kim Jacoby,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas Connors,
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Mulvaney,
Yes.
Mr. William Knapper,
Yes.
Mrs. April Walters,
Yes.
and Mrs. Barbara Sittler.
Yes.
Motions 29 and 30 pass 9-0.
Okay, everyone, payment of bills as presented in the general fund account.
So moved.
Second.
I just have a question. On the payment of bills, there was a bill in there for Next Century for $844. Are we done with them yet? Like, what is going on?
So the bill that needed to be paid has been paid. We're literally in the process today of confirming that that paperwork is being submitted via Marywood. So
shouldn't see any more bills from them?
We should see at least the ones for the current ones that we, so there be
For
no
like
right now.
one or two, yeah.
And did the grant that we had for all of this cover?
Yeah, I believe we're still well within the, and I'll follow up on that to be sure. We're doing a lot of that right now, just trying to make sure that, you know, the grant submissions that are the grants that we have received in the past, that we've utilized the full amounts that are in there. We've actually gone out of our way, not just with the health and wellness grant that was a part of that, but also on the school safety part, where we had to kind of got notification that there was the ability to kind of reapply for a school safety grant, which we did and were granted, where we were able to utilize basically the last third of our bills for this year for the SRO program, or submitted via that. Also then, the current year's PCCD grant, I was able to apply for an extension for that. That will take them the remainder of that and be able to carry that over into next year, which should cover us for what we received in the current year upcoming, to get us into next year, with all of that covered as well.
So looking at that, we got, going back to 2022, actually, some money that we might be able to apply into next year's budget also.
Yeah, fair amount.
Yeah.
Earning it? Huh?
Are you earning?
Yes. It's fun.
Good, thank you.
Roll call. Ms. Bonita Barbush.
Yes.
Mr. Tyree Harris.
Yes.
Mr. Ryan Linder.
Yes.
Mr. Campbell.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas Connors.
Yes.
Ms. Nancy Mulvey.
Yes.
Mr. Lee Knepper.
Yes.
Mrs. April Walters.
Yes.
Mrs. Barbara Sigler.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Reports from board committees, policy, personnel and policy, Bonnie? Bonnie, any report for personnel and policy?
Yeah, I can barely hear that because there's noise in, like, I don't know if it's neighbors or what, but, yeah, would you repeat what you said, honey?
Do you have a report for personnel and policy?
My report,
Yes.
my committee report, okay. Just was on the agenda, and I'm thankful to everybody for all their hard work and diligence in trying to fill these positions. And the only other thing that we have is upcoming, we have the paraprofessional we have to, interview for. And, the teachers, we don't do. But, that's all, it's just what else is on the agenda for tonight.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Thank
Athletic?
you.
Athletic, Ryan?
Okay, not a whole lot to report since all the sports have wrapped up, but I will note that our, Little League and Little League softball teams are doing quite well, so it's exciting to see the potential for, future seasons and moving into junior high and high school of some of those teams.
Could you look into, and I think Dan, you might be in on this, the security companies?
Yeah.
Even if we go with the same security company, can we get someone else? That guy
I
is,
support that.
he's a liability. So I think someone passed the information to me that the other security companies are more expensive.
So, and that doesn't discount them, yes. And that's discussion, without getting too far into specific personnel. You know, we can share some discussion, and I'll share that out with, Ken, as I had before. I did get some numbers back in regard to some other possibilities, that we may wanna consider.
I think you addressed that, so thank you for it.
Yeah, so that's probably gonna be, that's something we had on our agenda for this past August or September. So it would be coming up in one of the next couple meetings.
So would we, should we take care of that, like ASAP?
Yeah, that's, I have been soliciting kind of examples from other
Okay.
local districts.
So all the games just hired me.
Anything else, Ryan? Transportation and property, April?
I just wanna add, comment that I believe the roof has been completely repaired and is done on the garage building. The fence is down, and has the work been completed yet on that culvert and drain? I know it was started.
Everything down, I just gotta re-pour a sidewalk. So we're just gonna let a couple rains here, let that settle, and then me and Scott are gonna pour a new pad there, so.
And are we done with cutting the trees down as well?
We're as far as we can reach, so now we need a truck or something to get us up there.
Warms my heart to see that stuff actually getting done.
Yes.
I'm sure it does.
Agreed.
And then, we got the fence down in-house, and Kyle said about 2 weeks he's gonna come and start removing the blacktop.
Wonderful. That's all I got.
Thanks, Kenny.
Yep, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Curriculum and technology, Nancy?
I have nothing to
Thanks,
eat.
Ken.
Worth mentioning, so a couple things upcoming when we get back in August. We had talked about, gosh, it was Provident and KMA talking to us about some longer term plans. So because we kind of got bumped in terms of timeframes with them, we'll look at them in August. But also, when we get back, what we're looking at is, again, we keep having other things pop up that keep trumping our presentation on our testing information too. So that obviously applies to our curriculum side of things. But also, I know some of the questions that we received applies to something else we've been looking into. I think this is the third or fourth time we've looked into potentially bringing programs back. Our problem always is numbers and having the numbers to support a program for some of our outplaced groups. And our end, looking more specifically at maybe life skills this time to see what our numbers look like in that specifically, but also some form of a presentation we're going to do to the group as well. Looking at more comprehensive numbers just so everybody has an idea of the whole.
But all the teachers are, I saw lots of books and everything in the lobby and that out there, so that everybody has what they need
Yeah.
for next year.
Any other stuff coming? I don't think we're missing anything at this point, are we? I know Mr. Kimball was out today dragging.
No, I just, we got a call too, just to support the teachers, but also the students. Heritage Hill is, I guess, with their activity director along with some of the residents, they do service projects throughout the year. So they're collecting school supplies that, before school starts, they're gonna bring it over and, give it to us so that, when the teachers say, this one needs X, Y, and Z, we can hand it out, and, just another collaborative effort, and, thankful for our surrounding neighbors.
Budget and finance?
You passed it.
Representative report, CCPI?
I was not able to make the meeting last week. I did make graduation. We had 103 graduates from the 5 sending districts. And we are currently working on contract negotiations, support staff, hirings, things of that nature that.
Could you repeat that, please?
There was, I missed the meeting last week for CCTI. I did attend graduation. They had 103 graduates. And we're currently working on contract negotiations with support staff and.
Okay. Thanks, Tom.
All right, you're welcome.
Should've let them know you weren't going.
It was a last minute work thing.
CLIU, Barb?
Yes, there was a meeting that I attended on June the 17th, and at that meeting, they approved the contract between CLIU and the Carbon Lehigh Education Association. So that's one big thing that they got accomplished. The term of the agreement is 2024 to 2027, and will become effective July 1st, 2024. There was a report presented on the Safety and Security Board, and that board oversees school security and coordinates training and resources for students and staff. So that was a big presentation. They do have an internal focus, 3 hours of training on such topics as active shooter, suicide awareness, child abuse recognition, door pop alarms, thought that was interesting, visitor buzzing system, and that's also available on online training. Eric Lett presented the 2021-2024 comprehensive plan with importance really focused on retaining staff there. Okay, Randy Perry, Director of Transportation, presented an overview of what he deals with supplying transportation for the IU. And I was informed that all their decisions are data driven. So you can have faith in them. And I guess the next meeting is July 15th, and I will be attending.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
PSBA, Billy?
Nothing at this time.
TCC, Nancy?
I have nothing at this time.
One question before we wrap it up. Will this fall under us, people with property and transportation, if we could talk to the bus company, any cameras and stuff that don't work, get them fixed before the start of the school year? So that will help, keep an eye on certain things that go on that bus.
That contract's gonna be pretty close too. That was a 10-year one, we got 2 or 3 more years on that. I know they addressed a lot of those with COVID going on because they weren't transporting students. So they didn't have to bend on that because it was in the contract, but they did. And instead of the additional fuel cost or whatever, it was put into putting cameras on and all that. But I think there has been some issues in the past year or two with some of the cameras, so.
I was just
people are
like,
looking into it.
In a couple situations.
Yeah.
Where it was actually like a substitute bus that they brought in.
Yeah, so there's always,
Yeah.
Other comments?
With Lori Davis's approval, it says 23-24, which is.
What had happened, there was a situation that came up last year where we didn't have the name, so the position was approved with the salary previously.
Yeah, I thought it was a typo. So
Yeah, it's kind of filling in the blank.
All right, it is last. We have to then reapprove her for this year, or?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She would be somebody that would be approved from the approval side.
On the 2 professionals that we've hired, prorated salary. So prorated from, that means that began June 1.
That means that it's a yearly salary, but it will be based on their start date. So that they'll be paid for the portion of that particular salary from their start date moving forward to the end of the fiscal year.
And the start point from a prorated standpoint would be
Their start date.
Their start date. Yeah, so
July
if the start.
One is July 8th,
Yeah.
one is the 15th, so
Yeah.
it's only a week and 2 weeks.
There's a small
between
portion.
the 2 of them.
Yeah, thank you. It's literally July 1 then is
Yeah.
our spot.
Correct.
All right, I was just trying to figure that out, and I said, nope, I gotta ask.
No, good question.
And then, so that leaves us with, on the resolution to set taxes. What is our millage?
We're gonna have 51. Oh no, hold on, I just went on my head again. God dang it. Same as last year.
Well, yeah,
It just went out of my head. I was waiting for it, I was waiting for somebody here to ask it.
I wanna write it down for
Yeah, I can get it for you when we're done there.
Thanks.
I can't think of it right now. Oh my God.
Sorry to catch you on that.
That's okay.
I was
I
just
will have to
thinking,
store
trying
it.
to explain. So are we balancing using our budget surplus or,
Well, right now it's based on, we don't know yet what we're gonna get from the governor,
right?
alright? So there's a buffer in there, so right now we're looking at about $600,000 deficit, so if everything holds true, what the governor said he'd like to do, it's gonna be pretty much a wash. Alright, we budgeted though for less than that, we budgeted basically for half of that, figuring that we might not get the full 600, if we get the 300, then we'll be fine. If the whole thing comes through, we'll be in real good shape. But then we have to take out a reserve. But now, the grants we were looking at though today, or the last couple of weeks, some of that rollover we might be able to use for some salaries and benefits, which could help offset some of that deficit also.
So 300,000 would be a figure I can put out there.
Yeah, that would be pretty safe, say 300,000.
depending on the state.
Right.
Depending on the state, depending on where we end up.
Could be more, could be less, but that's, you kind of ballpark it, and hopefully by November we'll know.
I'll figure out a way to
with the engineers?
It was the change in time, you know, so
They
we,
couldn't make an hour work.
no.
Did he give you a reason why, or just couldn't make the time?
What I was told was that there was a prior obligation that they had, after our meeting.
Okay. I mean, they know that this isn't gonna be talked about then until August.
You and I had talked about, that's enough discussion, you know, I'll get information to everybody in regards to what their time frame is, and, you know, then it's gonna be a conversation we have to have as far as how we move forward.
Okay.
And one more question, is Mr. Rarick here?
Right there.
This is Mr. Rarick.
Yes.
Mr. Seller is not.
No, he's actually in international waters right now on his planned vacation, so, it'd be a stretch for him to get here.
I met him, so
Yeah.
you're gonna get in the newspaper.
You'll be the first one.
Thank you.
What section though?
Thanks, Tom.
Other people were thinking that.
Just wanted to, if I could finish, I know I didn't get a report, but, it's been a pleasure working with the district, you're in pretty good shape.
Thank you for helping us out.
Oh, you're welcome, it's been a joy, it's great working with these gentlemen, the staff here, you know, your principals and all the staff I did get to work with. Kristen, I'm telling you, you're gonna love her, I mean, that was a good hire for the assistant business manager, she's
Yeah.
pretty sharp.
Awesome.
She's sharp, she's quick, she's like a sponge, she sucks it in and knows, you know, I don't have to tell her twice. So she's been really good. Just things for the board to think about come along, I'm sure for Ed also, is that, you know, there are a couple things in the legislature right now, chances of some of that passing are not great, but, you know, that $20 an hour minimum wage, that would have a big impact on your district as well as all districts across, because you know your contracts and what they say. It's something you need to look at. I know Peasers is dipping a little bit, there's a little bit of relief, but there is an uptick in another year or two. So you might wanna start, you know, planning on that and thinking about that. And I know the way Act One is set up, and it's not the greatest scenario, and, you know, you just gotta be careful, because you can never make up what you don't do now, alright? So as you're looking down there, especially with the Peaser stuff, as you'll see, you may wanna start uploading a little bit of that in your budget the next year or two. I know you don't wanna raise taxes, but it's easier to do a mill or a half a mill than 4 mills when you have to, you know, later on. So, hopefully the governor's stuff passes, and they do a little more of that equal funding across the state, but, you know, the chances of that happening are pretty slim too, so. Anyway, it's been a pleasure, it's been great, glad to help us out, and, like I said, we'll be around probably in a couple of weeks to stop in and work with it a little bit, just to compare notes and things like that, but other than that, it's been a great experience, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you very much for your expertise.
You're welcome.
And if all four of us would say hello to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a call, don't worry.
Okay, and thank you for saying that about Kristen, because she is a smart girl, and that was very kind of you to say that.
You're lucky to have her.
Yeah, I know we are. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Any other public comments? Review of board meeting dates and calendar events. Weatherly School District Board of Education regular meeting Wednesday, June 26, 2024 at 6 p.m. CLIU board meeting Monday, July 15, 2024 at 6 p.m. CCTI Joint Operating Committee meeting Thursday, July 18, 2024 at 6 p.m. Weatherly School District Board of Education caucus meeting Wednesday, August 7th, 2024 at 6 p.m. And Weatherly Area School District Board of Education regular meeting Wednesday, August 14th, 2024 at 6 p.m. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.